So today is day 65, and yesterday my sister and I decided to have a technology free day. So we didn't turn on our computers, we didn't turn on our phones until I think after 8 o'clock in the evening. So we had the whole day without computer, without telephone, and it was really, really nice. It was great. It's incredible how much we use our phones and our computer during the day, especially as online entrepreneurs. We use it too much, and so just cutting it off for a whole day was really, really good. And I did find myself at the end of the day kind of feeling quite anxious and depressed about, I don't know, like I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't working on my business. I wasn't doing what I should be doing. And the topic of uncertainty comes up there because when we are doing what we normally do, say, we normally go to work and we have a job, or we stay home and we do this work, there is a certainty in that. There's a certainty of doing what we're doing every day. So that creates certainty, and we can kind of get comfortable in that. And it's actually one of the 6 human needs that Tony Robbins talks about. And I've done an entry about that before, about certainty, and how I've created a lot of uncertainty in my life and what's been the outcome of that. And so my certainty is my work. My certainty is knowing that I'm online every day, I'm connecting, I'm doing my work, I'm putting things out there, and I'm engaging in stuff with technology on a daily basis through my work. And even just being able to connect with friends on, via email or telephone or whatever. Like, we didn't have that yesterday. We had none of that. So there was part of me that was getting anxious because I didn't have any certainty. I wasn't doing something to create that certainty. And, it can become this thing where you can become a workaholic, and everything has to be about work. You've got to be working constantly. And what that creates is purpose. So a sense of purpose, a sense of, something meaningful. However, it's really, really good to shift things up and take ourselves out of our normal routine to kind of allow ourselves to have a rest and to rejuvenate. And so what we did at the end of the day, my sister and I, we did some scheduling. So we got our diaries out and our calendars, and we did some scheduling. We put things in the calendar at certain times, what we're supposed to do, just regular scheduling. And I don't normally do that. I don't do it like we did it last night. And also because I'm just working like every day, all day, in a way, not in the normal way, but in the way that an online entrepreneur kind of, finding your way, trying to do all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't really sleep. But yesterday, we really got the timing and the scheduling and what we're going to do at this time and that time. And so today when I woke up, I had this certainty, but it was in a different way. It was a certainty of, there was a lot of purpose in it because it was really focused. So that comes back to the masculine feminine thing of how do we balance our masculine and our feminine. So what I've had going on that has contributed to my anxiety and my overload is that I'm moving in such a feminine way that there isn't enough focus. So I'm kind of letting my work flow through and around and all over me instead of kind of taking reign and creating a container for that work to be done in, and the work's done in that container, and then outside of that container is my time, is play, is not work. And so yesterday was a really nice experience of having a whole day where there was no work, no telephone going in the background, no text messages, no Voxes, no looking on YouTube, no checking out my channel, no checking Facebook, nothing. It was just, there was no technology at all. And it was actually really wonderful. And it sounds like something really simple, but I know that people watching will understand what I'm talking about, because technology is very addictive and most of us are addicted to it. And so when we take time off technology, it can be kind of like, but however, when we get back onto it at the end of the day or following day or whatever, it's not like we've missed anything or something big has happened. So even though yesterday there was that feeling of uncertainty and purposelessness, today I was able to come back to that feeling of certainty and purposefulness, because I came back to today like with the masculine focus and the moving forward, you know, from my feminine wish and desires and yearnings that I wish to bring out into the world, but in a container. And so I had my schedule that was my container, and I was actually able to get a lot done today. And I also could acknowledge that I had done a lot today, because a lot of the time I feel like I haven't done enough, and a lot of entrepreneurs will understand what I'm talking about. There's this constant work that you feel like you need to be doing, and you really have to work hard to rein yourself back in and look at what you actually have done and celebrate what you have done and acknowledge what you have done, so then you can rest and play. And so today I did everything in my schedule, and this is actually part of it, creating this video. You know, I had to do that 3:30. This is part of it, and that's scheduled in. So when we really sticks to a schedule, it gives us a container to bring our work out into the world, or whatever it is that we're desiring to create. It allows us to bring that into the world. So the feminine is very much about life and expressing life and allowing life to flow through us and creating life. And the masculine is very much a container for that life. So when we create a schedule as women, we can have our feminine creation and flow and life and creativity, and through that schedule, which is the masculine energy, it can hold that creation and that life and that flow in a really beautiful container, so that we can actually bring it out into the world. And that was just kind of what I felt today. You know, now talking about it, it wakes it up in me more about the scheduling and how it can be a really beautiful container for us to really bring what we wish to bring out into the world. Because there's nothing really worse than having, well, I'm sure there's a lot of worse things, but it's a really unpleasant thing having this feeling that your work is never done and that you haven't done enough in the day, and there's always something, you know, that you need to catch up on, whatever. But when you do have that schedule and you do everything in that schedule, and then you also schedule outside of that, you schedule playtime or my time, me time, family time, time that is just for play and enjoying and being a regular human being outside of work hours, that's really, really, really important. It's so important. And that is what self-care is. So that actually the whole thing is self-care. So making a schedule, sticking in that schedule and scheduling that my time, that is all self-care. So when we don't have that schedule and we're just moving through and we're just responding and reacting to everything that comes our way, and an email comes in, you got to get this, and a text comes in, and that got to go, you know, and that's all going on, and there's just like fuzz going on, and you cannot feel like you're really doing what you need to be doing, then that's not self-care. That's us actually not caring for what we need inside. That's not self-care. But when we create a schedule and a container for us to bring our work or whatever it is that we're bringing to life out into the world, then that's self-care, because that's really looking at, okay, I've got this amount of time to do this, I've got this amount of time to do this, and then I'm going to call it a day and I'm going to go and play and be a normal human being. That's self-care. That's what it is. So yeah, it's a really great thing to do. One of my coaches, she also told me that she always tells the women to have one day where you don't schedule anything, you schedule nothing. That's it. You don't make any appointments or classes or anything on that day. And if you want to stay in bed for the whole day, so be it. And that was kind of yesterday. So that was my sister and me. We decided to turn off all technology and then just have nothing on that day. Even though there was things we wanted to go to, we were like, no, we're not going to schedule anything. And it felt really good, and it refreshed me, and it was, it brought this out that I've been talking about. So it was very nourishing. It was nurturing, and it also at the same time felt a little bit uncomfortable because, yeah, I don't normally do that, but it was a really good learning lesson and exactly what I needed at that time to really see how important it is for me to create a container for myself to be able to bring my work out into the world and make good on all my commitments that I have to my various businesses. So yeah, that's day 65. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would absolutely love that. I'm aiming for 100 subscribers, which would be lovely if I could get there really soon. And if you like this video, click the like button. And if you want to comment but not below, I would love to hear from you. And if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, comment below and ask me. I'd love to hear from you. See ya.